So, like Gong said, so my name is Bo Li. I'm the founder and CEO for this company, Endure Energy System. So before I start my presentation, I like to speak a few words about Kemin. About 10 years ago, we met in few seminars and forums like this. And I was really impressed by him in many things. For example, he was always thinking. He was a thinker, and he was a visionary. And in addition, he did multiple projects at the same time, just like what he did in college, always doing many things. And he never gave up. So I was very, very impressed by him. And of course, because of him, I got to know Peter. I got to know Greatway. And then congratulations to Peter and the team Greatway on this 30 years anniversary date. And of course, thanks for providing this platform to in honor of our outstanding alumni, Kemin Shixiu. So with that, I want to start with my presentation. So my talk today is battery energy storage solutions. And I am very happy to see many friends here, many we know each other for a long time. And then many people, they know me. I was in solar industry for a long time. I started my solar career in 2005. And then people is gonna say, hey, you're working on solar in the past so many years. How come you're talking about energy storage? So hopefully after this presentation, you will know why. So should I do this? Okay, so I like to start with the application for energy storage. So in renewable energy industry, solar is getting very mature. And then because the solar is getting mature, and the energy storage become a bottleneck. And if you think about solar, it's been happening in the past, say, decades, 2 decades. But for energy storage, it's pretty new. However, the application for energy storage covers many areas. So I want to separate this into 4 main regions. So the first region is a bulk power system. Second one is a distribution system. And this number 3 is a consumer application. And then number 4, since the EV is becoming more and more increasingly available today, so I want to cover one of the EV session as well. So for the first one, for bulk power system, for generation side, for we know for renewable energy industry, for example, for solar and wind, everybody knows it's great, right? So it's clean energy, it is sustainable, and in addition, the cost is getting lower and lower. So therefore, it's available. But however, renewable energy industry, there are issues. I don't really know if people probably don't realize this. There are issues. For example, the first issue is intermittency. Intermittency meaning a solar panel can only generate electricity, say typically around from 9 o'clock in the morning to 4 o'clock in the afternoon, right? So you cannot generate anything in the evening. Unless Xungang is going to make a new technology, say instead of using solar energy, you're going to use moon energy, right? So in that case, first solar probably is going to change the name to first moon, right? So anyway, so that's intermittency. So intermittency create a pretty big problem. So when generation is higher, and then so you have to figure out a way to transmit, and so that's intermittency. And then the other issue with solar or wind is randomness. For example, so if in a very sunny day, the solar panel probably can generate a lot of electricity. But however, for a very cloudy day, you probably end up with nothing, right? So this intermittency and randomness has a huge impact on the grid, because grid, they like stable. They don't want to see randomness. They don't want to see intermittency. And then the solution for this is energy storage. So if you have a huge generation on a day, and then you can use energy storage as a buffer. You can say, okay, so for all the excess electricity, I can store those in a battery storage. And then that's when generation is high. And when the demand is high, you can use energy storage to discharge the electricity back to the grid. So therefore, it's a buffer. It's a perfect solution. So that's the generation side. And on the transmission side, it's the same thing. So assuming you have a very big solar farm or you have a very big wind farm, and it's going to be the same thing. Say the transmission capacity could be very limited, or you just do not have enough transmission capacity. And if you generate a lot of electricity from solar or wind, the only thing you can do is curtail those electricities, right? So it's a waste. So the way to do this is, so if I have a energy storage, when the transmission line is very congested, and what I can do is I can just essentially just store those excess electricity to the energy storage. And then when the line is not busy, I can just reverse the process. It's very simple, right? So that's the for the bulk power system. And as of today, it is very big. It is already, because the solar is getting very big, so energy storage in this area already plays a very important role. And then the other thing is a distribution system. On the distribution system, energy, one of the advantage or benefit for energy storage is it's a flexibility, and this flexibility plays an increasingly important role day to day. For example, I give you an example. For the regular electricity, the power quality is very important. What I mean power quality, meaning for each electricity, you have to have a frequency, and also you have to have a voltage. So this voltage and frequency is very critical. So you have to control this frequency and voltage in a very, very tight number in order to make sure the supply is stable, or in order to make sure the consumer equipment can operate without any damage. And then the energy storage can do this. Energy storage can provide a regulation, say on frequency regulation. In addition, energy storage can also provide a voltage control. So by doing this, pretty much you can control, make sure the quality of your power meeting your requirement. So that's one thing. The other thing is on the distribution side, for example, so there are so many distributed solar available right now, and also small wind available right now. And because of this, because of the intermittency and also randomness, it has a lot of impact on the grid. And then remember, originally, say 20 years ago, 50 years ago, originally the grid is only designed for one-way electricity flow, right? Only from grid to your home. Right now, because you generate electricity from your home, so the grid has to cover two-way communication, and this two-way communication is not fun at all. So therefore, so the energy storage in this regards can smooth out all those randomness, or smooth out all those intermittency, and provide a variable path for this case. And then number three I want to cover is a consumer application. Of course, in the Bay Area, I'm sure many of you probably experienced in the past several years that there are power outages, right? PG&E, especially in summer. And when there are mountain fires, and there will be power outages. And if you have kids working, learning from home, when there's no power, make sure your blood pressure is controlled, because they will be screaming, right? So this is one of the major benefits. So for battery storage, it can provide a power backup. When there is a power outage, so battery storage can start up and give you power. So that's very important. So that's number one. Number two, within consumer application, it is also give you a path to control the cost of your electricity. For example, I don't really know if you guys know a term called the time of use. Raise your hand if you know this. All right, that's perfect. That's more than my expectation, actually. So time of use means, so the electricity price is different along the day. And then because of this, and so because in the peak period, the price is higher. And then in the off-peak period, the price is lower. And using battery storage, you can control, you can monitor this, you can modulate this, meaning say, when the price of electricity is low, I can charge my battery from the grid. And when the price of the grid electricity is high, instead of using the grid electricity, I can use my battery electricity. So therefore, I can save cost. So that's a very, very popular. So that's the second application for underneath the consumers. And in addition to this, there's another one which is called a demand charge. Demand charge meaning at a certain point. So if your power, so time of use is on energy, is kilowatt hour, and demand charge is on power. So at a certain point, if you use too much power within a certain period of time, your price is much, much higher. Probably, I don't really know if anybody in the audience know this or not, but in the industry, it's very costly for demand charge. And battery storage can do the same thing. So at a lower demand charge or no demand charge period, you can charge your battery storage with the grid. And then when the demand charge is expensive, and then you can use your battery to reverse this process, right? So that's the way of saving cost. And number 4, transportation storage. As we know, so previous speaker already mentioned, so EV, there are so many EVs nowadays on the road. It has a huge impact. I know most of the people, they want to charge their EV, say in the evening or during weekend, right? But however, there are times you have to charge your EVs in the daytime or maybe even the peak hour. And during the peak hour, if in a place, if the grid capacity is not good enough, and then you are in trouble. So the way to do this is apparently the battery storage can provide another variable path to expand or increase this power demand. So that's on the transportation storage part. And with all those applications, and of course, the benefit, so I'm going to talk about benefit. So with this one, so energy storage, if you look at this picture, so it is very critical. Essentially, it's a critical hub for the whole electricity grid. And it can augment all the resources. It can cover, say, hydro, wind, solar, and they can also cover nuclear and natural gases. And essentially, ultimately, this energy storage is enabling technology. It can do many, many things. For example, apparently, so we talk about economic advantage already, right? So the basic idea is when the electricity price on the grid is high, you don't want to use it. And then when the electricity price on the grid is low, you can charge to your battery storage. And then when the price is higher, and then you just reverse the process. So in that way, you can save money. And then the other thing we already mentioned, it can give you enhanced reliability and resilience. Again, so it can provide backup power when there's a disruption. And then for renewable energy, again, so most of the renewable energy has intermittency, right? Has intermittency and also has randomness. So integrating those renewable energy into the grid has a lot of pushback. But however, if there's pushback, do we want to just accept pushback or not? We have to do this, right? Because environmentally, it is good for the future. So therefore, for battery storage is a very, very valuable way to enable integration of all those renewable energies into the grid. And then that's also the last point. So for the last point is because of the use renewable energy, and we are able to do this, we are able to integrate into the grid. So therefore, it's very good for the environment. And as a result, we don't have to do those very costly, pollution emitting peak power plant anymore. So that's the benefit. And then because of the benefit and because of all those applications, so in the past several years, so energy storage market has grown significantly. And it is expected this market is going to continue the momentum in the next decade. Of course, that's only the application benefit. All of those are only one drivers. There are many, many other drivers. Cost is, of course, is another very, very important driver. Starting from 2010, for example, so lithium-ion battery, the cost for those lithium-ion battery almost reduced by 10 times. So because of the technology innovation, because of cost reduction, it's an enabler for the whole industry. So with that, I want to just introduce my company a little bit. So my company, Endure Energy System, we are a battery storage supplier. We are also a solution provider. So we are founded in Silicon Valley. And as of today, so we are with our engineering team and operation team and the business development team in Dallas, Texas. And our company was financed by world famous investors. So these investors, they are also the investors for companies like, Enphase, First Solar, Ohmium, NextGen. All those companies are very famous company in their region, in their area. For example, Enphase is a $35 billion company. They are number one in microinverter. Ohmium, they are the leader for hydrogen. They just closed another $250 million round C funding, and then it became a $1.25 billion company, a leader in the hydrogen space. So for us, Endure Energy, so with these investors, so we're pretty good. We are pretty established, and our management team is also very experienced. We have a good tracking record in technology development and also very big global operation in the past many years. So with that, let me just introduce product a little bit. So this is for residential product. We have delivered this product I got it. So we have delivered this product, hundreds of thousands of this product in the worldwide, in the States, Latin America, India, Africa, South America. We stay mainstream, but at the same time, Xionggang asked me, hey, why can you tell some of the challenges of this industry? In fact, all those are our challenges, and we address all those challenges. And by doing so, we differentiate ourselves compared with a lot of others. I'll give you an example. For example, data and cybersecurity, because I'm sure in Silicon Valley, there are so many engineers that are working on, data, they are working on software. So data and cybersecurity is very, very critical. As of today, for example, there are companies that are doing virtual power plant. Virtual power plant meaning you have hundreds of thousands of batteries, and then you can virtually connect those batteries instead of spending $1 billion to make a peak power plant. So now you have those batteries, you can instantaneously provide charging and discharging and instantaneously become a virtual power plant. Very cost effective, but it requires cybersecurity, right? So you don't want somebody break into your system and all of a sudden turn off all those batteries, and all of a sudden thousands of people, they lose power, right? So those are the areas we pay a lot of attention. So in addition to residential battery, we also have C&I and the utility scale. So we use, say this is our basic building block, 373 kilowatt hour battery rack. And then we can stack this within a container. We can also do this in a on cabinet basis. I think with that, yeah, my time is up. Thanks again for inviting me.
Please welcome